Hey everybody, Leslie here. I wanted to talk today about 5 struggles that I faced as a paralegal. Now, you might think, well, you've been in this for 28 years. You mean you face struggles? Yes. And for those who are looking at this career for the first time, yes, there are struggles to face. That means that, what kind of struggles? Well, for you, it might be that you don't have the knowledge you need. And I'm telling you that you can get the knowledge you need. You don't have to go to school. It's not necessary for everybody to go to school. And that's an assumption that people make. Okay. And, but one of the struggles I faced was in the beginning lack of confidence. And it was because it was a brand new field. I had just closed down a plant nursery, was trying to decide what I would do with my life. And so I had 2 aunties that went into this field. One was a judicial assistant in New Jersey. The other one was a legal secretary for years. And, way back when they were working in the field, there was no such thing as paralegal. Everybody was called a legal secretary. And then they changed it to legal assistant, then paralegal. And so this has evolved. But that doesn't mean that you have to go to an ABA approved 2-year school and that you need to go into debt to get into this career, okay? You need to binge watch all my videos here and take notes and understand what this career is about. You should get a copy of my book, Legal Break-In. It's on Kindle or in paperback version. And also, when January rolls around, my recommendation is that you take my course, the Paralegal Inner Circle course. That will build your confidence, give you an edge, teach you how to do proper cover letters, but give you a lot of legal knowledge that you wouldn't have had otherwise. So yes, I wished it were around, that this stuff was around when I was starting out, but it wasn't. And so lack of confidence was one of my struggles, but I kept blasting through those barriers. In spite of it, I thought, well, we'll see where this goes. I was just up in the air. Had no idea if it would go anywhere. And I went in as a legal receptionist, legal secretary, file clerk, gopher, everything, and I had just owned my own business for 4 years. So, it was like starting over. But yes, fear was there, but I was also confident in what I had just done in my career, and that this was a new career. So lack of confidence, yeah, expect it. If you have lack of confidence, you're right on target because you're going to learn step by step. So the next thing, which might surprise you, is that I didn't have support. I didn't have my parents supporting me. They really couldn't understand what this field was about. They knew that my, relatives of theirs were in the field, but they couldn't think outside of certain boxes. Let's put it that way. But I could. And so I kept pushing forward with no support at all. That's kind of been a theme in my life. And so I know to expect it, and I just keep going. You go through the barriers, you travel, and sometimes fear's sitting right up here and you're going along with that fear sitting on your shoulder, but I refuse to listen to it. And then number 3 is going to be TOA, meaning Table of Authorities. And I'll talk about this in certain videos about what you need to know in Microsoft Word. Well, Table of Authorities is one that gave me lots of trouble. And I just had to keep attacking it, keep practicing until I eventually got it. But I didn't have confidence in that at all. And Microsoft Word in page numbering can be a bear, especially when you're changing up the page formats in legal and you go you don't have page 1 on the first page. Then you go 2, 3, 4, and then you have to put exhibits on the back end of this that you're talking about in your legal document, but you're going to say exhibit 1, exhibit 2, exhibit 3, whatever. And there was a document I did, a motion regularly, that had seven exhibits on it. And so in Word, they make it difficult compared to the way the way WordPerfect used to be. Word makes it difficult. So learning those things in Word, the page numbering and the workarounds for that, and also table of authorities. That's one of the advanced skills in Microsoft Word in the legal field, okay? But that was a struggle for me. Um, the other thing was in my life growing up, I had a very domineering mother who was a force. And I got used to shrinking back. Well, I don't shrink back anymore, but I had to learn through the corporate job I had, not legal, but corporate job. I learned not to shrink back through coaching from my spouse, actually, who was in the corporate world for years. I hadn't been, but he was. And I had to learn not to shrink back and stand up for myself. And then I learned to stand up for myself to my mother. That worked wonders because it stopped bad behavior totally. Um, you'll notice that there's a graphic. Well, actually, if you come over to Paralegal Coffee Talk on Facebook, there's a graphic that I posted there, and I invite you over there to see live videos that are there too, some of which I repeat in both places, but there are a lot of videos over there that aren't here. And the graphic is a picture of a woman walking, and it says, the first step towards getting somewhere is deciding that you are not going to stay where you are. That is the first decision. I had decisions to make after closing my plant nursery. I had decisions to make after closing a restaurant that I ran. And those did not turn out to, the first business was the nursery, and it was successful. And the second business was the restaurant, not so successful. And I went back into the legal field after a brief departure from it. And that legal field was always waiting for me there. And so that was the only time I deviated from it. And I had to build my confidence back up then. I went back into it, but I was thinking, do I still have the chops? Am I still able to do this? Yes, totally. And I had to remind myself what I was good at, what I could do. And that's why I tell you, when you break into the legal field, you need to track everything that you do, that you know how to do, and pat yourself on the back because nobody else is going to do it. And be confident in yourself. Now, the last thing is that you may not know is that back about 18 years ago, my eyesight started to go bye-byes. It was more like 15 years ago. And I thought I just needed reading glasses. I went to an optometrist who said, no, I don't see anything wrong. Turns out the eye pressure was so heavy in my left eye that it was cutting off the blood flow. And I went to specialists in Tallahassee and Daytona, and then went to another specialist in Indianapolis. And finally, the end result was that there was nothing they could do, and that I lost the sight gradually in my left eye. It just went down smaller, and gone. And it turns out, I believe my Irish grandmother had the same thing, and she never lost her vision in her right eye. So that's what I'm hoping for, that I don't lose the vision. But that became problematic when I would proofread documents in the legal field. I had to proofread more diligently even than before, because I was afraid, and my eye would get what was happening was double vision while reading, not while driving, but while reading. And what I did a lot was close this eye. I would just close my eye, and then I'd just proofread with the right eye. But those are some of the struggles that I faced along the way. So I don't want you to feel alone as you're looking at this career for the first time. Do not feel alone. And most of us, when we embark on something new, we don't have a cheerleading section going, hey, yay, go for it. But I'll be your cheerleader. Ask all the questions you want below, and talk about your fears and your aspirations. Like, what is it you're trying to do? And the last thing I want to say is, don't think that you have to go into debt to get into this field. You absolutely do not. Watch all my videos here, and then come over to Paralegal Coffee Talk, like the page, and then watch all the videos that are there. That will do nothing but help you binge watch them, take notes that's kind of a mantra of mine. It's just a saying I use that is absolutely necessary and important. Take notes while you're watching videos and line out things. If I'm giving you 5 ways I've struggled, it's not necessary that you take down this video, but it is when it relates to what you're facing. When I put down those things that you should know in Microsoft Word, take those down and study them. Any of those videos where I'm listing things or I'm giving you a clue as to how things are in the law firm and I enumerate them, then take those down and put them in a file where you categorize them. When I talk about different interview questions or interviews in general, have a file just for interviews so that sticks in your mind and you know how to handle that. Okay, well, that's all for today. I wanted to share some of my struggles with you. You are not alone in this journey, and you can do this. You just have to have those foundational skills I talk about in so many other videos. You want to know what they are? Watch some of those videos. Binge watch almost now 200 videos approximately, and get the lay of the land regarding this career. Okay, before you start spending money on school, before you jump in, and do it the right way. Okay, get some knowledge. And for an insider's look, go check out my book called Legal Break-In on Amazon, and that'll give you a behind-the-scenes look, 20 chapters, and different aspects of the legal field. That's what you should do first. That's the first step. The second step is get on the wait list for my class, Paralegal Inner Circle class, and that launches in January, but get on the wait list now on my website, LeslieSansone-Williams.com. All right, and a little bit later I'll put the link below, but the link to my website is available on some of the previous videos right before this. Have a great day. Questions, comments, post them below. Love to hear from you. I'll talk to you in the next live video. Take care. Bye.